Hi everyone, today I'm incredibly excited to introduce the first in our new series of solo string instruments, Heritage Cello. More than 2 years in the making, we returned to the Nave with cellist Nicholas Trygstad to record 10 beautiful articulations and create a library that feels like a natural evolution and upgrade from our original work on intimate legato cello. So let's have a quick listen. We captured a fantastic legato. Then sustains. A whispering sultasto. Then some lovely rich harmonics. Nice agile tremolo. Then major and minor trills. Three lengths of short starting with staccato. Now spiccato. Then ricochet. And last but not least, a beautiful pizzicato. And all of these results in a library that is really versatile and perhaps more importantly, is extremely fun to play. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a closer look. There are 10 slots, each corresponding to a different articulation. And to change articulation is really easy. You just need to click on the articulation you want. Or trigger the key switch on your keyboard, and the corresponding note is displayed here at the top center of each slot. All the key switches are located here, but by clicking these arrows here in the top right, you can actually move them to where you prefer. So if you have a smaller keyboard, perhaps you prefer them to have higher. We can start with legato. And then we think, okay, maybe let's try with tremolo. So we click on E. And then say, okay, good direction. Then maybe spiccato. Pizzicato. So it's really instantaneous and super easy to use. When you first load the library, legato is the default articulation. We wanted to expand upon our work on intimate legato cello and record a brand new legato that was capable of not only slow, passionate, emotional melodies, but also more agile and faster lines depending on your needs. There are 3 distinct legato types, each determined by your playing velocity. If you play softly, you trigger a smooth, slurred legato. At a medium velocity, you get a medium speed fingered legato. And And if you play it at high velocity, you will get a faster finger transition, which is ideal for slightly faster, more fluid passages. And you can adjust the velocity threshold by clicking the cog icon on the legato slot and navigating to the legato velocity split page. And feel free to fine-tune this setting to suit your style. Personally, I prefer having the medium speed fingered legato activated most of the time, reserving the other types for specific moments. Additionally, you'll notice the slot menu lets you adjust the intensity and tightness of the legato transitions, so you can adjust them to your taste, although in my opinion the default settings already sound excellent. Now let's take a look at the Rebo. This handy feature can be triggered with a green key switch, or you can press the sustain pedal and repress the key. Each note offers 2 Rebo round robins, allowing you to add further expression to your lines and ensuring a natural sounding performance. Now let's move on to sustains. This articulation lets you play multiple notes simultaneously, making it perfect for harmonies, supporting melodies, or quickly sketching ideas. And you have the option to enable infinite bow, which is available on all the long articulations and even legato, and quite simply allows sustained long bows without the natural bow change, which alongside the manual rebow offers a solution in certain creative situations where bow changes have to be specifically timed or unwanted altogether. You will also notice other features in the slot menu, such as the option to choose whether the dynamics are controlled by the mod wheel or by velocity. And by default, all sustained articulations are controlled via the mod wheel, while all the short articulations are managed by velocity, which is essentially as you would expect. Next up, sul tasto, where the player produces a mellow, intimate tone by playing over the end of the fingerboard, and it's a beautifully textural sound compared to the normal sustains. What a truly fantastic sound! And in the cog menu for sul tasto, you'll find options for high pass, infinite bow, and sample purge. The high pass filter, which you can activate for any articulation, helps remove some low end, keeping the sound clean and defined. We then have harmonics, which sound lovely, and they're perfect for introducing a new idea or subtly starting a cue in a film score. I really love the intimacy and the fragility that it's in the performance. So they sound lovely, but they can also sound quite tense. And lastly, we have Tremolo. I think it sounds phenomenal. It has a really nice, punchy, clear sound, and you can play sustained notes, but it can be quite agile too. So if you want to try a faster line, it's really convincing. I think this is hands down for me one of the best tremolo I've ever played in any solo string library. It's incredibly clear and powerful and a pleasure to play. If you navigate to the cog icon, we can go to the tuning slider, and there it is. And tuning can either be in cents or semitones. You just have to alt click to select which you want. So for example, we have an E. There you have it. It's quite a funny effect, but I guess it can be useful if you want to try something different. Before we move on, note that both sustains and legato feature two sustain types, a more gentle entrance when played lightly, and a more passionate entry with extra vibrato when played hard. Let's start with a more gentle entrance. And now the more passionate one. And these velocity splits can be adjusted in the slot menu labeled Dynamics Velocity Split. And this means that you can control how hard you have to hit the key before you get the more passionate sustain. Next up we have Trills, which come in minor and major seconds. You need to hold two keys to trigger them, and they sound absolutely amazing. This was a minor second. And this was a major second. What I really love about Trills is actually combining them to form a sort of a moving chord. I gotta say, these Trills feel amazing under your fingertips. It really feels like there's a player playing next to you. You can see each slot here has two sliders. The bottom one controls panning, while the vertical slider adjusts the overall volume. Moving forward, we have the shorts, and there's a lot to unpack here. Perhaps let's start with the first two, staccato and spiccato. The difference lies in the technique. They're similar, but slightly different. I'll show you. Let's start with staccato. And now spiccato. They both sound really good. Staccato has a slightly looser release, more suited to a slowed mid-tempo. Spiccato, on the other hand, is shorter, more agile, great for fast line, or if you just want a shorter sound. I find playing these articulations really fun and a pleasure. Staccato is expressive, offers a very good blend of attack and warmth. The spiccato feels agile and natural and really breathes life into faster passages. Also, each articulation has a round robin selector, which you can access by clicking the dots icon in the top right corner. And this allows you to remove round robins from the particular node by simply clicking the dots. And the number of dots corresponds to the number of round robins. And this is really handy if there are certain ones you don't like, or you just want a more predictable and controlled sound. Next we have ricochet, which is yet another technique where essentially the bow bounces on the strings, producing a light, airy, energetic short sound, and at top velocity you can hear we have a bounce version, while at lower velocity it results in a short single sound. And I think you can create interesting rhythms combining this. Finally, we have pizzicato, offering various velocities from soft to hard, with an extra barto pizzicato at high velocity if you want that snappy sound. If you'd like, you can combine different articulations by holding Shift while selecting them. So you could get all the shorts together, maybe pan left and right to get more variation. And same for the longs. This way you can create a unique cello ensemble. That wraps up the articulations. It's a truly comprehensive library with endless options, but there's more to discover in the bottom half of the interface, which deals more with the mixing and how you can shape the sound. On the left side, you'll find the proximity slider. This controls the microphone mix, letting you adjust how close or distant the sound feels. And with the Order Purge activated, which you can find in the Mix tab, it allows the unused microphone positions to keep patch sizes small. Be aware that adjusting the slider might cause a very brief loading delay. So let's bring it down to 100%. Of 50%. And finally 0%. Then blur allows you to apply a low pass filter. While gloss boosts the high frequencies. The stereo knob instead widens or narrows the stereo image, so it can turn into mono. Then expression manages the volume. And the dynamics controls the intensity and is linked to the mod wheel. Moving to the Mix tab, you can further refine the sound by adjusting the individual microphones. We have 4: close, mid, far, and ambient, so let's listen to each one. Starting with close, a full warm and a prompt sound, ideal when you want the cello to really stand out. Then mid, and this setting reveals the subtle room acoustics, providing natural reflections that enrich the sound. With far, the sense of depth is more pronounced, as if the cello were performed in a larger hall. And finally, ambient, perfect for creating a spacious, cinematic atmosphere with a touch of natural reverberation. Adjusting the proximity slider on the mix page allows you to see real-time changes to the microphone positions. And of course, you can also move them individually, or solo or mute them, or even use our engineer's unique mix perspective by itself or in combinations with the other microphones. Finally, on the right, you have access to FX and the EQ settings. In the FX page, you can modify the reverb, apply tape, or delay. For example, the preloaded reverb is medium stage B. If you click on it, you can choose an alternative to suit your musical vision. So I'm going to choose Cathedral C. Then I'm going to add some delay. And then I'm going to add some tape. Fantastic, it's super inspiring, and this could just be the seed of an idea. And I love the saturation and the slight distortion that the tape provides. And of course, you can also modify the settings to suit your taste. That brings us to the end of our walkthrough of Heritage Cello, our most advanced cello library to date. We're immensely proud of how it turned out, and we really hope you'll enjoy using it. Out of the box, it sounds fantastic, and the mirrored articulations and features grant you the freedom to compose without limitations. Also remember, this cello is just the beginning of our new series. Up next, we have a new violin, so do keep an eye out on that. For more information and demo tracks, please visit our website. I've left a link in the description below. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions you might have in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.